Welcome back, everyone. Toybiz here, and I am back yet again to give you guys another retro shiz look back at the past. And today, we're heading all the way back to 1995 to look at the Toybiz Fantastic Four, the animated series Wave 3. You know that old animated series Wave based on the kind of sort of popular Marvel Action Hour cartoon of the same name. A couple new characters in this wave, like a very trench-coated Thing with the Thing 2. We also have the Negative Zone's Nihilist and Namor. That's the best photo I could find of him, right? So this is going to be a blast. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. This is a look back at the 1995 Fantastic Four, the animated series Wave 3 by Toybiz. And while I got all you Fantastic Fours here, I just want to say thanks so much for checking out my Retro Shiz videos. If you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. Old Toys, New Toys, daily news updates. Guarantee you'll find something here that you like. Now we're going to kick things off with the Marvel version of Aquaman, the Submariner himself, Namor, which he looks pretty dang close to his animated series counterpart. Gotta give it to him on that. And I mean, it's a very simplistic figure. He's basically nude in a Speedo, and he's got a little action gimmick with the wings on his feet, which that to me is Namor right there. You gotta have the wings on the feet. I don't know if they do that anymore, but as goofy as it is, they gotta put always the wings on that feet, right? And then you got this action button right here, which if you were wondering, yes, he is supposed to come with a trident and a turtle shell shield, basically. So, yeah, when you kind of move this arm around, which is the action feature, he's supposed to be, like, jabbing at you with a trident. I'm sure that is exactly what he's going for. But he is a very nicely sculpted figure. He's very muscled out. He's got the Batman gauntlets and everything else. No Smythe rotation in the ponytail, but overall, very simplistic for Toybiz back in the day. But you get the general poses out of him. And just to kind of harken back to Spider-Man the Animated Series, while it's not Spider-Man the Animated Series related, it did come later with the Amazing Spider-Man line under the Web Splashers line. This, of course, was the Aquatech Namor. So I had this nearly nude Namor for as long as I did, not realizing they made a brand new one. So you had to have him, of course, right, as one does. So later down the road, when I look at all the water stuff with Spider-Man and kind of sort of the animated series, we'll be sure to bust this guy out. But if you are looking for a really cool, pretty much classic Namor, look no further than Fantastic Four, the animated series. And to continue on the trend of aquatic peoples, we have the Inhuman Triton, and he's looking all Green Goblin-ish in his greens and purples, of course, and his two accessories, which, I mean, there's something, right? It's like a Little Mermaid conch shell trumpet, whatever, and a shark, or a cartoon shark, or a stuffed animal shark that Triton has. I don't know. Doesn't look like a real shark, especially when you start using the mouth and everything. Like, make sure to subscribe. So dumb. Tail doesn't move, nothing moves, just the mouth. And then you have Triton himself, which this is kind of more so based on the later episodes of Fantastic Four when he got his aqua suit and could breathe without the help of being in a bubble. Yeah, that's basically it. He's got this nice fin action on the back. Overall, it's a nice looking figure. The whole action gimmick of it, I mean, he's supposed to be like, look, he's swimming, right? He squeezes his legs together, which, I mean, as one does with these figures, and it just kind of moves his arms down. It actually kind of looks like he's mad, like throwing his hands down on a desk, like, I've had enough of this cartoon. Which, if you've seen the cartoon, you'll know exactly what I mean. But he does have articulation in the legs and the knees and the elbows and everything else, and the head will spin. So, overall, you could get him into some swimming positions, for the most part. But when he holds his accessories, the one accessory, the trumpet, yeah, that looks great. It's kind of just like there for like throwaway. And if you got the shark, you know what I mean? It's just, it's not the best accessories. I'll just tell you that. But it is classic and it's goofy. But the best part is, of course, putting him with the other Inhumans you've acquired from Waves 1 and Waves 2, so they all look great together. And you know what? Hey, speaking of Web Wars and Water Splashers and whatever else, that Spider-Man looks familiar, right? Well, yeah, they just reused the body, which oddly enough, does work for a Spider-Man figure. Go figure, right? Which brings us to the Super Skrull. And this is a must-have figure right here. If you know about the Super Skrull, basic thing is that he takes all the Fantastic Four's powers, and he's basically a 4-in-1. This guy, though, doesn't have any stretchy stuff going on, but yeah, I'm sure it's there somewhere. But I like all the details on this guy. I really like his craggy thing arms mixed with the fire, and you got the Invisible Woman legs, right? Very nice, lovely legs. I just like the way it goes from clear to painted. They did a great job on that. And his action feature is you punch. And it works pretty well when you hit a Nihilist or Spider-Man or the Thing. Well, not so much the Thing, but you know how it goes in the cartoon. And let me just say, one of the weirdest episodes ever was when Johnny Storm and Sue Storm's father came back and the Super Skrull took his form and then he died like instantly. I don't know. Go watch that episode. It's awful. But what's not awful is this cool figure. Which brings us to the Thing. The Thing 2, to be exact. This is the undercover action Thing, and quite often in the series, the Thing would don a trench coat and a hat and glasses, which this guy is missing, just FYI, but that was like his disguise, as if you're not going to see like a big trench-coated monster walking around. Though, he did usually have shoes too, which this figure did not have. But yeah, up close, he looks pretty good, right? He's got this really nice trench coat on him, he's got his little hat, and like I said, yeah, he's supposed to have a pair of glasses, kind of like undercover Donatello, right, from the old Playmates Toys line, if you want to go that route, minus the mustache. But he actually looks pretty cool. This is a nice looking Thing figure, and I gotta give it to him for trench coats back in the day, or lab coats and everything else that Toybiz tried to do. This is probably one of their best attempts I've ever seen. It's actually really nice, and it undoes, and boom, you got Flasher Thing right there, standing all nice. And you mean you could put the trench coat on and off. It's actually a piece of cake to remove and put back on. And this thing is actually quite cartoon accurate. Probably the most cartoon accurate figure of the entire line. And yes, right here on the side, these are the holes where the glasses would fit in. But yeah, it's just the animated look of him that really comes forth in this sculpt. The blue trunks and all, blue eyes and all, good old blue eyes Thing, right? Really good articulation on him, legs, arms, knees, head, everything works. Everything looks pretty good. And kind of pairing him up with the Wave 1's Thing now, and just in terms of, again, the animation look, this one really achieves that, whereas you could say Wave 1, Season 1, and also more of a comic book look. But he does work really well with the other Fantastic Four members. Now, I think Mr. Fantastic, Johnny Storm, a little bit more cartoon accurate. Sue Storm, well, I guess when she goes invisible, you could say it works a little bit better. But in either case, he fits in well with the other Fantastic Four members, especially when he's in his trench coat. So overall, very happy with this guy. What I'm not happy with, though, is they never made a Johnny Storm in the whole blue attire, right? Well, technically, they did. And thanks to my friend at DesignerCon, you know who you are, for giving this to me. I mean, you must have seen the last video. This is the 10-inch Johnny Storm figure. And yes, this is the only way you could get Johnny in that just classic blue outfit. Blonde hair, arms, legs, everything else, moves, does his whole thing. He is missing some fire effects that would clip on. But in terms of just being the non-flame-on Johnny Storm, he looks great. And yeah, as you can see, he's basically just a scaled-up version, minus the whole stretchy arms, of Mr. Fantastic from Wave 1. So yeah, unfortunately, again, like the Spot or other characters from Spider-Man the Animated, this would have been great if he was scaled down and in the proper attire. And there were quite a few Johnny Storms in this line, to be quite honest with you, except for this guy right here, which we haven't gotten to. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself with Wave 4. But the final figure of the wave, of course, is a Nihilist. And this guy, yeah, he was in the Fantastic Four cartoon as well. That's how I actually came to know about Nihilist, was through that episode with Blastar, which was just all kinds of ridiculous. But he is missing his little gauntlets on top of his shoulders, unfortunately. Yeah, he's supposed to have like really nice spiky shoulder pads, I guess. One day I'll get a hold of those. But really nice colors, from the purples to the electric yellow, which is really nice. He's got these big, huge green wings that will fold and close, not directly over him, not directly all the way back, but you get enough rotation out of it to be happy, I would say. And then you got the arms and the elbows and the legs and everything else. But it's really just the colors of this guy. The look of a Nihilist, just in general, is pretty dang cool. Especially when you pop his head off and you find out that he's like a smaller little bug guy in like a costume, suit or whatever. Incredibly dirty, this guy. Yeah, that's what happens, I guess, when the plastic starts to go south, unfortunately. And you can see inside right there, but you simply just pop him right back in, and he goes full-blown super mutant hero, whatever he is, from the negative zone, and he looks great, again, especially next to Blastar, which, that episode, as much as I keep saying, like, oh man, that episode, I mean, it's fun to watch maybe one time through, but it's ridiculous. But you can take old Blastar here and fire his missiles, but they end up getting caught anyway because they're just terrible, terrible people from the negative zone. And that really does wrap it up for my look back at the... You know what? Hold on a second. The old card back did show one last figure we haven't gotten to. Adam Warlock. That's weird, right? Well, not really. Yes, Adam Warlock was supposed to be a part of Wave 3 at one point, but he was eschewed. That's just really it. But if you have the Marvel's Overpower card game Power Surge line, well then, yeah, we can take a look at Adam Warlock. See, for all the lack of some of the accessories I have, I make up for it and having other figures that were supposed to be part of the wave in some aspect. But this Adam Warlock is pretty cool. It comes with his Warlock staff right there, and that's done nice. Very simplistic, but it gets the job done, and he holds it well. And Adam Warlock himself is quite a very cool figure. I gotta give it to him. Well, for back in the day, but you get what I mean. This guy was awesome. From the reds and the blacks, to the jewel in his head and everything else, the skull on his cape. Very simplistic articulation. It just did the trick back then, and that's what was so fun about it. Legs, arms, knees, every which way. The head will not rotate because he's got a little function, but I love the cape. That's a very comic book cape, right? That's a good rival to a McFarlane cape right there, if I do say so myself, but you'll notice the button on the back side of him, which is hidden relatively well, and you can push it, and let's see if it still works all these years. Yep, he's doing the whole light up green eyes spawn thing. Yeah, he still works. He's electronic. And he's doing the whole cosmic power thing or whatever Adam Warlock does at this point. But yeah, he holds his staff nicely, and he's just a really cool looking old school Toybiz figure, especially when you got him with the other, let's say, Thanos or Silver Surfer in that sense. He's going to display really nice on your Toybiz shelf. So that will really wrap it up for my look back at the 1995 Toybiz Fantastic Four, the animated series, Wave 3. Some cool characters in this one. A lot of characters that never had action figures before, too, which, I mean, says it all about this line. That's where I think the Toybiz line for Fantastic Four really shines. It brought a lot of characters to the toy aisle that had never been seen before, and some that just are still really cool figures to this day. But I am curious to know what you guys think about this Wave 3. Did you have any of them? Do you still do? Comment below, let me know. Let's talk everything Fantastic Four, the animated series. And you actually all have a bit of homework to do. You have to go and watch at least 3 to 5 episodes of the Fantastic Four and do a one-page essay about how terrible the show is and why. I don't know why it's so bad, but it just is. Anyways, I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, waves 1 through 3 in the can. Now we just got one more to go. Good old Wave 4. Interesting characters in that one as well. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.